Forget the Titanic. The deadliest shipwreck in American history actually happened right here in the heart of the South. Today we're headed inside the Sultana Disaster Museum to see the artifacts and hear the stories of the over 1,000 souls lost just miles from this spot.
So, as you know, it is the deadliest maritime disaster in U.S. history because of the number of lives that was lost in just a matter of hours, literally down the road here, 6 or 7 miles, very close to the river. This is Chester Berry. Chester Berry did survive the explosion, and I believe he found it quite therapeutic to talk about it because he went to several of the Sultana Survivors Association meetings that they had, and he gathered about 133 stories of the survivors. He asked them to recall the events the night it exploded, where you were sitting, how did you survive, how did you rescue, amongst things. And he published this book in 1892. It's all of their stories. Opening in October of 2025.
Wow.
That's going to be nice.
So on the inside we'll have a real auditorium and a research library, an education room, and a gift shop. And we are in the process of developing new exhibits and things for the Sultana.
They do show a real short video that does a really good job at explaining the disaster.
In the corner of this display case, there is a photograph of Epinetus Washington McIntosh, who is in Chester Berry's book, and I want to sum his story up. He weighed 80 pounds when he was on board the Sultana. He weighed 175 at the beginning of the war. Now, he was only imprisoned in Andersonville for 6 months, and he lost half of his body weight. But his story goes, he actually arrived at Memphis on one of the other steamboats, one called the Henry Ames, which had 1,300 on it. But he goes into town and stays too long and comes back to the docks, and his boat has moved on.
I remember this, yeah.
You remember this one?
Yep.
So he has to catch the next one up, which is the Sultana.
Yeah.
So he's practically a stowaway, but he's only on it for 7 miles before it explodes. And he does survive by floating on a piece of wood and lives to be 83 and tell that story. But these are his postcards that he sold after he got home.
Yeah, I remember.
25 cents.
Yeah, I remember him.
He would tell those stories, or he would sing his song that he wrote in Andersonville. Third one from the end is Reuben Hatch here, the one who makes the deal with Captain Mason to make money off of the loaded boat. This is Captain Mason, a photograph of him. You can read about him. And then our corner, we have some rescue stories here worth reading, pointing out.
I remember him talking about that.
Hopefully we will be done with that in October.
How they were blown up in the air like so many feet, and then they came back down. When they came back down, their bodies landed on top of the...
So who you will see in this video,
The
just
pet
like some
alligator?
Yeah, and the guy killed the alligator and got in the box that the alligator was in. That's how he survived. Isabel Bell Annis, 7-year-old daughter of Harvey Annis. She's the one, yeah, she's the one that watched her husband and daughter die. This woman here. I remember that story.
You know, this just, I had to put the book down. Put down when I read this. I'd been in prison and witnessed the awful scenes there, and on many a battlefield, I thought I had seen all the horrors of war, but this disaster was the most heart-rendering of any I had seen in my 4-year service. I thought, wow.
Right.
So you can imagine, they had these visions in their head. They knew that they were boarded on here like livestock. They knew they were crowded. There was not room for everybody to lay down, so they took turns.
Yeah, I remember hearing that they were just people everywhere on this thing trying to find a place to sleep. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little tour through the Sultana Disaster Museum. If you're ever in the Memphis, Tennessee area or the Marion, Arkansas area, I highly suggest you visit this museum. Well, thanks for joining us today. Hope to see you on the next one. And as always, thank you for watching.